Welcome to Lake TV's Tee2Green. Our featured course today is Porto Cima, which is roughly translated to hillside by the harbor. Located on Shawnee Bend, just across the community bridge at Lake of the Ozarks, Porto Cima is an 18-hole par 72 private signature course designed by the great Jack Nicklaus. By the way, to achieve signature status, the architect has to be involved on both the drafting table and on the course and everything in between. Jack Nicklaus was an integral part of every phase of the development of Porto Cima. Here's hole number 1, a par 4 playing 357 yards from the white tees. It's the number 5 handicap hole on the course. The fairway drifts slightly from right to left. As is the case with most of the lake courses, trees line both sides of the fairway, but on many of the holes at Porto Cima, the weeds and underbrush have been cleared away so you can at least have an opportunity to play out from the woods. Now, in a lot of Ozarks type courses, you go out in the trees and you're not going to find your ball. You might find a few mushrooms in season, and you might catch a possum, maybe taking a little bit of a nap, but you're not going to find your ball. There is a significant drop-off in front of the green that slopes up to the 2 bunkers, protecting the front of the green. The green itself is large, with most of the greens are at Porto Cima, and there's a slight hump at the back center. Hole number 2 is another par 4, the number 3 handicap hole in the course. The fairway tilts slightly from right down to the left. Fairway bunkers are very much in play, the first on the right at 134 yards and the bunker on the left at 185 yards. Much like hole number 1, there's a drop-off in front of the green that goes back up to the putting surface. Bunkers to the left, and if you're going to miss right. The green is relatively narrow from front to back, but there is a backstop. Hole number 3 is the first par 3, and it is the number 11 handicap, playing at 144 yards from the whites. Remember, your cart will have GPS with visual aids. All the bunkers, the water features, everything are marked. And as pretty as this downhill par 3 is, there is all kinds of trouble you can get into here. There's a drainage in front of the green, sand traps, and a small pond. So if you think that you're in between clubs, use the longer of the two. We're now at hole number 4, and it's our first par 5. It's the number 7 handicap, playing at 490 yards. That drainage that began in front of the previous hole angles across the fairway here. The fairway has a slight turn from left to right. There is sand to the left, and the green is a little narrow from front to back, but unlike the earlier holes, long is not a good option on this hole at all, as there is a drop-off behind the green. Hole number 5 is a par 4, and it's the number 1 handicap hole at Porto Cima, playing at 344 yards from the whites. And I will relate some good advice someone gave me years ago. It's just a golf ball. You haven't formed an emotional attachment to it. There is a bottleneck close to the tee, but if you're playing from the whites, that shouldn't be a problem. Just enjoy the hole and the challenge. Hole number 6 is another par 3 and is rated as the 15th most difficult challenge at Porto Cima, so take advantage of this one if you can. It plays at 138 from the whites and is just a gorgeous layout as a cove comes up on the right in front of the green. We're now at hole number 7, a par 4 that is the 17th most difficult, played at only 270 yards. Oh, the temptation. Should I take a big swing and go for it? Or just take my most trusted club, get something in a perfect spot with just the right distance and take my chances? That is the dilemma here. This is another beautiful hole with a lake running along the right side, although it does fall off steeply to the right. The fairway has gentle rolling hills to the green with a bunker left front. Time for another par 5, which would be hole number 8. This is the 13 handicap, which plays at 477 yards. Number 8 is also the last of 3 gettable holes in a row. You tee off from an elevated location downhill to an eventual dogleg left. There are a few sections along the hole that have a significant slope, so take advantage of that GPS unit with all the features of the hole to plan your landing spot. There are bunkers front left of the green. The final hole on the front 9 is another par 4, the number 9 handicap that plays at 364 yards. The fairway drops from the tees to a dogleg left with fairway bunkers at 189 on the left and 249 on the right from the white tees. There's a pretty deep swell in front of the green with sand short right. Now we've finished the front 9, let's cross the bridge and move on to the back. As we move to number 10, a short par 4 which is rated as the easiest hole at Porto Cima. It plays only 263 yards from the whites. And Mr. Nicholas apparently likes designing risk-reward holes, and there are several coming up here. There is sand short left and all around the front of the green. If you're between clubs on a second shot, miss long is much preferable to missing short. Plan accordingly. Number 11 is the second of 3 par 4s to start the back 9. It is the number 12 handicap hole in the course, playing at 350 yards. There's a wide fairway with a slight bend from right to left and some sand on the left side. An inviting deep green finishes the hole with a large bunker at the right front. Reading the speed of the putting surface is a must anywhere, but especially at Porto Cima. We're on to hole number 12, which is the longest par 4 on the course at 382 yards from the whites, which is a factor in it being rated as the number 4 handicap. From the tee, you're looking down a beautiful undulating fairway, which through the final 180 yards slants down from right to left. There's sand about 50 yards back and under the left front of this huge green. Depending on where the pin is and where you're putting from, you might be looking at a big breaking putt. Number 13 begins a run of par 5s and par 3s. The number 10 handicap par 5 plays at 435 yards. There is a drainage which slants diagonally across the fairway, and it is much shorter to cross if you play to the right. But if you go too far right, the fairway slants down severely to the left. Now for myself, at my best, I would be described as an average golfer, but I love a challenge. The green juts out onto the lake. Now if you go for it, you take a lot of distance off, but if you miss short or left, glug. On a lot of par 3s, you can hit a worm burner and get a little lucky and have it run up onto the green. Maybe even have it trickle on. Not on number 14. This par 3 playing to the number 8 handicap at 159 yards has a deep trough between the tee and the green. There's a big level landing area short of the green with sand left and right. You can't miss long or right on this hole. Number 15 may be the prettiest hole at Porto Cima, and that is truly saying something. The number 16 handicap hole is 494 yards long. There is a big slope to the fairway close to the tees, which shouldn't be a problem from the whites. The fairway then levels out, and the first several bunkers come up the right side, and they come into play at about 195 yards. There are bunkers right, left, and behind the green, and if you have a moment after you putt out, give yourself a treat and enjoy the view. Number 16 is the final par 3 that is cut into the side of a hill with a cove on the left side. I'm going to relate a quick story here. I was playing in a tournament here years ago in a 4-person scramble. It was a shotgun start, and we had just started on the previous hole. One of our players teed off and was way up the hill on the right. In disgust, he turned and walked back toward the carts. Well, the ball started trickling down the hill, made the green, picked up speed, and dropped in the hole. So the moral of the story here is you can miss bad right and get away with it, but you can't miss bad left. We finished up Porto Cima with 2 par 4s. Number 17 is the number 6 handicap and plays at 352 yards. There's a small inlet off the cove, which needs about a 100-yard carry to the fairway. Again, on this hole, you can't miss left as the cove is in play. There's sand right about 130 yards out from the white tees, and another inlet in front of the green, which is narrow from front to back. There's also a bunker to the left front. And we come to the gorgeous finishing hole, number 18, the number 2 handicap on the par 72 Porto Cima course. And those people up on the clubhouse deck enjoying a meal or a beverage, don't worry, they're not paying any attention to you at all. You have a huge fairway to shoot for, although there is a water feature up the right side and bunkers on the left side. On your approach shot to the green, you can't miss right. The safe shot is to the left side of the green. We hope you've enjoyed Lake TV's Tee2Green featuring Porto Cima. Remember, Porto Cima is a private club with memberships designed for your needs, whether it's individual, family, or corporate. Although we have featured the golf course, there is much more to Porto Cima in addition to the amazing golf. For more information, visit portocima.com or call 573-207-8700.